It's Stu from Lightsoft. Today we're going to talk about LWC2, the next release, obviously. LWC2 version 0.9.0. The first thing you'll notice is that's quite a jump from 0.60. The reason for that being is that it's probably the last development release before we go to beta, so that's quite exciting. We couldn't go a major version without putting in some new stuff. Version 0.9 has one major new feature that has long been requested, long time, over the last 2 years. This crops up every couple of months saying, why doesn't LWC do this? Now it does. The reason I left it right till the very end was because I needed the architecture in place, the foundations within LWC to be able to do it in a sensible way, a way that didn't require hacking through the code to get it to do it. I just wanted to get it to do it without too much work on my part. The feature we're talking about is historical uploads to Underground, and literally it took less than an hour to put the code in to get it to do it. Another hour testing. I've used it 2 or 3 times in anger since putting it in, and it seems to work fine. There are a few other little features that have gone in. Something that may be of interest to you, particularly if you are a USB Vantage /Envoy/View owner, is I've put in a preference into the advanced preferences which will slow the communications rate down to the hardware. LWC normally talks to an Vantage. It gets all the data from the Vantage once every 2 seconds. The reason we do it that fast is because most channels on a Vantage update around about 2.5 seconds, somewhere there. So we go a little bit faster than that to make sure we don't miss anything. The wind direction, wind speed, essentially random data, we need to pick it up as soon as the Vantage gets it. The Vantage won't tell us when the data's changed, so we have to poll it. It would be better if it did, but it doesn't. No station, as far as I know, does. So anyway, normally LWC is pinging your station every 2 seconds, 30 times a minute. This new feature reduces that polling rate to once every 5 seconds. Now the thinking behind this is that excuse me. The thinking behind this is that if we reduce the communications by 50%, then the chance of your USB driver locking up to the Vantage is similarly reduced by 50%. Whether this is true or not, I don't really know. But we do know there are people out there that do have problems with their USB drivers hanging to their Vantage. LWC is unable to reset the driver. It can reset it on 10.5. It cannot reset it on 10.6. So to help out, we've put in this slow polling rate into the Vantage driver. Okay, so now let's go and take a look at it. Here we are, little Mac Mini. Here we can see my Underground data. It's valid up until 8:30 tonight. The time is now nearly midnight, so there's 3.5 hours data missing. So we'll launch LWC2 and it will upload that missing data for us. Before we do that, I'll show you the new option for the Vantage driver, which slows the comms down. We just open up the driver preferences. Here we go. There it is down the bottom. Checkbox, tick box, slow comms. This may help if your connection suffers from dropouts, serial errors or lockups. Ignore the text there that said 10 seconds. It is actually 5 seconds, and that will be corrected before this version is released. Now let's see what Underground is doing. It's going to start up in 53 seconds. If you're doing a demo, it's quite handy to be able to start it immediately, which you can do by stopping and starting it. Immediately we started it, we can see it is uploading historical data to Underground. It uploads in 5-minute increments, and the speed it uploads is pretty much dependent on your net connection, but you're really not going to get faster than about a packet a second. The reason for this is that that's the time it takes for us to send the packet to Underground, them to ingest the data and send a reply back to us. And we can only upload one record per packet. It's just gone midnight. And here we are coming to the end, 23:50, and we're done. Now we can see the Underground status has reverted to normal running. In this particular case, we're running rapid fire, uploading every 5 seconds. There's all the midnighty stuff going on. So let's take a look at our web page now. Let's refresh that. We can see Underground has switched over to the next day as it has gone midnight. Completely empty graph. So let's go back to April the 10th and have a look at our graphs, which will now be absolutely complete. And there they are. Super job. Looks like the data there is finishing at about 10 to midnight. The last packet uploaded by LWC was for 5 to midnight, so yeah, they didn't take the 5 to midnight packet. Now, all of this is managed by a file in your LWC data folder. There it is there, LWC last Underground plist, upload.plist. And in there is the date and time of the last upload to Underground. So that is updated every time LWC sends a packet to Underground. If that file doesn't exist, obviously there's no historical upload. So the first time you run this version, there will not be a historical upload. So if you have been, thanks for watching. This version will be released in a few days to a week.